Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mission Dharma online. As always, we'll wait for a few moments for some to drift in. Are you not hearing me? You hearing me okay? Great. Mary, is that you? Where are you? Oh, you are. There you are, Mary.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Thank you for co-hosting.
I'm co-pilot.
I wanted to just find you. I feel safer now. Great to see you, Linda, sitting right next to Mary. Nice to always have you back. And nice to see you, Nancy. And all.
Thank you.
And just in a couple moments, I'll invite everybody to say hello. But for now, we'll just get our bearings, rest our weary minds. I see Frank. Good to see you, Frank. Maureen, John, Katie, Sally, and then everyone else is without camera. Oh, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Dan. We have much of our board of directors here with us tonight. And we have Laura from Maryland, which is always a treat. And Noemi, the entire board of directors is here tonight. You are in very high company. And Mary, I wanted to say Mary too, but Mary, the other Mary one. Hi, Victor. So anyway, I've done all the talking so far. Feel free to unmute and say good evening to each other, and then we'll practice.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Say where you're calling in
Hi,
from.
everybody.
Hello from San Francisco.
Hello,
Hi, this is Victor from San Francisco.
hello,
Hello,
Victor. Hey,
everyone.
Mark, I see you in the middle now. Yeah. Hey, Victor.
Mary from Santa Barbara. Mary 2, 1, whatever.
Nancy from Petaluma.
Katie from San Francisco.
This is Linda and Eugene.
Linda.
Big love from Nashville.
All right, Jerry. Just hearing that word love is such a balm to the heart. So thank you, Jerry, always for your big love. Okay, it's amazing. Someone wrote me a note on the weekend when we were about to start our beautiful, what to me was a beautiful half-day retreat on the nurturing, cultivating of loving kindness. Someone wrote a note and said, sitting in front of staring at a computer for 4 hours seems awful. I'll see you when we meet in person, something to that effect. And already just seeing your faces, hearing your voices, already I'm enlivened. My heart is touched by the capacity to connect. And I also know that some of you have been on your computers all day with your work, etc. But when we meet together like this, we're not staring at the computer the whole time. We're practicing. And we're attuning, hopefully we're attuning to our inner life that is so rich and so easily overlooked. And so I'm just here to, the few voices are just a reminder to come back to yourself, as Derek Walcott put it, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you've ignored for another, who knows you by heart. To for this time to peel the love letters from the bookshelf, just to let go of your ideas and your identification with your body and your mind and your moods and everything we get so caught up in, some very innocently because it's just habit, but to just drop it and then just to be together. And then to see for ourselves that within us, not only there's a reason why there's an enlivening quality at hearing each other's voices and see each other, because we are alive. We are uniquely individual and human, and if we're attuned to ourselves, we are plugged into, in some ways, an inexhaustible process, which is we call ourselves, but it's beyond any words that we can say. So let's let the words fade away and hopefully discover, feel, and feel free to enjoy the fact that you are aware. Enjoy the experience of your body sitting, even if it's uncomfortable. Just enjoy the fact that you're aware of it. Enjoy that you're breathing, that your body is breathing, and it does it so miraculously well all by itself. Enjoy the fact that you can ride the waves with your kind attention. So let your eyes close softly, sometimes closing the eyes, feeling a little secluded in the darkness of consciousness. The light of awareness shines on the felt experience of our sitting body. And we feel maybe at first areas of tension, heaviness, whatever the elemental experience is, but we let go of our opinions of it and just feel it and let it guide us to this vital point that we call present. And let it guide us so that there is a real closeness, that our thoughts and our consciousness, our awareness feels like it's inhabiting, that it is completely inseparable from this, what the Buddha called this fathom-long body, where there's no dividing line. There's mind-body, nama-rupa. They are not two things, except in name. So we do use language, and language is useful in pointing us back to ourselves. So feel the uprightness, the relaxed quality of your posture, and notice how your body starts to settle without trying to settle it. Your mind starts to quiet without trying to quiet it, just because your attention is beginning to inhabit your body, and your body filling your attention. When mind and body come together in this sense of oneness or harmony, there is an inevitable stilling, settling, what's called shamatha, calm abiding. And again, not because we calm ourselves, not because we quiet ourselves, but because this is the natural effect of having mind and body come together. And once we begin to taste that stilling, then it becomes more obvious the little movements that are made when our body breathes. And just riding these waves with our kind attention, you can be soothed by them, just like riding the sound of the waves when you're by the sea. Just let the waves of breath come in and go out. We don't try to control the outer waves, nor is it necessary to control the inner waves. Just let nature, as it expresses itself in our bodies, do its thing. And following the advice of the Venerable Ajahn Chah, we try not to let our mind leave our body. We just try to stay here as long as we can. Enjoy the body's experience of sitting and breathing. And as long as we're conscious, we can also enjoy the experience of moods and thoughts and sounds. And when we're not so conscious, there's nothing we can do until we wake up again to where we are. So celebrate each time you realize that you've been lost in a dream, and use that moment to let the attention mingle once again with this body, mind body. Just this moment, just this body, just this breath, or whatever it is that presents itself when we are mindful, conscious. Cling to nothing. In other words, let go into the flow of changing experience. Last, let go of where you've been, let go of where you're going. Just settle back into the moment. Intimately feeling each breath, each sensation. Remembering that mindful attention does not require any strain or tension. If you're experiencing strain or tension, that means your mind has gotten momentarily infected by desire or aversion or misidentification, caught up in a story about yourself. Mindful attention, remember, it has no destination but here. So you don't have to worry about getting somewhere, making something happen, fixing or figuring out. Everything is unfolding. Our only job is to let each presently arising experience be known in awareness. And the byproducts are many. The aim is simple. Just be aware, supported by the body and breath. If you're feeling dullness or sinking mind, feel free to mindfully refresh yourself. Begin again. Since our destination is here, we can always begin again, every moment. The same as if you're tense or agitated. If you need to refresh your posture, begin again right now. Just this moment, just this body, just this breath, just what is predominant. Just resting in a state of being aware, moment by moment. Really nice sitting with you. Nice to see your faces when I open my eyes. Curious what may have emerged or popped up during the sitting. Any comments, questions about the instructions or anything you noticed this evening? Any topics that emerged? Love to hear from you. And invite you to just feel free. Use the raised hand function if you can find it. Let's see. Boy. Carlton, please feel free. Thanks for breaking the ice. You have to unmute.
Our lovely Tomcat hopped up and popped up and joined us with tea. So he's right here.
Nice.
He also reminded us how tired we both are. So we were both spending time at the Wailing Wall.
You're nodding off, huh? Well, glad you're with us anyway. And sometimes those kinds of sits that they're actually quite healing. Your nervous system gets regulated, highly valued, called, not personal, but it's, at least in the Tibetan tradition, called stupid shamatha, which means calm abiding, but without a lot of awareness. and that's sometimes fine.
You're going so deep we fell in.
Exactly. Well said. Anyway, nice to see you. Anyone else? Comments, questions, descriptions, topics? Nancy, please feel free.
Hey, I'll break the ice too. My mind is busily ambivalent,
Is dizzily
busy with
busy?
ambivalence. I've purchased a condo that I'm moving into in a month, and I'm not excited about it.
Mm.
And I find myself, but it's not atypical for me to be really ambivalent. And anyway, I just found myself very occupied with that. Should I not move in? Should I try to find something else? Anyway, I'm having a lot of mind chatter.
Well, I appreciate you noticing that and noticing what kind of thought forms, the ambivalent mind.
Little mind.
And really, our practice is not to do anything about that. It's not to feed it. It's not to suppress it, but to see it. That's just ambivalent mind. And it's just doing its own thing. And I know it's unpleasant, often comes with an unpleasant feeling, that feeling about what goes along with ambivalence, but it's just ambivalence. And generally, we just don't, our thinking mind is often, as you've heard this many times in many different forms, it's really a secondhand version of some more underlying or primary state of uncertainty or doubt.
That's it.
And so so then it's just a matter of noticing, oh, this is doubt. This is what this feels like. And then see what happens to it when you embrace it with kind attention. And usually once you feel it, there's an impulse to want to soothe, to want to care. But if you're just thinking about it, that just goes on endlessly. or it comes and goes, but there's something about feeling it that can really help it settle.
You know, I want to take wise action. And when I'm clear about something, I'm clear. But I'm not, there are times when I'm just not clear and I,
That's confusion or lack of clarity, and that's just
yeah,
what that is. That's not
okay,
something that can be, one cannot figure themselves out of that. That has to be just experienced as another changing condition, because wise action comes from a very quiet place. It doesn't come from torment. It comes from being with that as it comes and goes, and then and learning how to be able to listen, more receptive, not from figuring out. We're terrible at figuring things out, except maybe mechanical things.
yeah.
But in terms of the affairs of the heart and love and even making big life decisions, they make themselves.
I just had an insight as you were talking. That it was like kind of clearing a cash register. Thank you.
Pleasure, and good luck with your, it's a big deal just to normalize. It's a big deal when we move. Our homes have strong associations with safety, comfort, familiarity, just the sense of being held. And so if it can sometimes, if you don't know that you're going to feel safe, it's easy to get a little bit, as we say, triggered. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But anyway, glad to see you.
Thanks so much.
Frank, was that a hand that? Feel free. Good to see you.
I haven't been able to join the Sangha for over a month and really missed it. At some point between 5 and 10 minutes after 7 local time, I realized how much I'd missed this. And when I saw the familiar faces, I had a feeling of calm just wash over me. And it was quite strong. And I just want to thank everybody that is here, everyone for showing up. So
Thank you, Frank. Always a pleasure to see you. Okay. Anne, feel free.
The person talking a minute ago reminded me of something I've been doing for the last year, which is looking for a new place to live, looking at a million senior communities, visiting some of them, and it got to the point where I'd visited so many, had my daughter make me a giant spreadsheet, price, location, the whole bit, and it got so complicated that I became so confused that I couldn't even function about it. And I had to sit down. At one point, I went to one of them and I visited them and I had dinner with them and I thought, this feels like a nice place. And then I got to the point where I thought, oh gosh, I've got to go by what feels like. I can't do the rest of it. I can't look. I never looked at the spreadsheet. I just went for the place that felt like the right place to be. So and it's the first time in my whole entire life I've decided to move someplace where I was the only person making the decision.
Mm.
And I realized there's a lot of freedom in that and a lot of pressure and a lot of mostly pressure. But I was thinking, why didn't I do this earlier? Who knows? But thank you for the previous person talking about that. It was good to bring that up. I've made the decision last week. I signed the lease. I'm moving in 3 weeks, and it still feels good. I'm sure there's something in it that I am avoiding looking at, but the fact that it feels right is what I'm going on. I've never done that before. So
Great.
thank you for these sits, because I don't think I would have found that place if I didn't have this sits. Thanks.
Thank you, and I'm sure everyone here is cheering you on. And
Thank you.
good luck, good luck. Victor, please, last but not least.
Hi. So I was just remembering the last time I was present in our meetings. I was going through a tense moment, and I was upset about a situation I was facing. Then, after hearing Nancy today, I think regardless of what the experience that we may be having, I think part of the discomfort is that we want to figure out as quickly as possible what is it that is bothering us. So, uh, so that's one thing, and the other thing is that I noticed that 1 week or 2 weeks after I was feeling the tension, I feel much better. Everything is fine, and to my surprise, I was just learning that a present situation, in this particular case, a present situation may be annoying and it was very uncomfortable. But through uh, meditation, I realized that the reason why it was bothering me so much, it had to do with childhood trauma. So,
Mm,
in other words, the present experience was bothering me a lot, and I didn't like it. I thought I had an immediate explanation based on the present circumstances, but after I was relaxed and a week or two later, then I realized, oh, okay, it's bothering me so much because this is reminding me of something that happened in childhood. Thank you.
thank you. Such a great, important insight that often we don't think we're upset about the thing that we think we're upset about, that there's often an engine that's driving it. And so sometimes that emerges if we, as you said, as you relaxed, as you let yourself feel, things emerge. But trying to figure that out usually just keeps us in a state of disembodiment, a lot of agitation, and it's very hard to hear that deep intuition, which it sounds like emerged for you when you were a little quieter. So glad you're feeling better. And Nancy wants to do a follow up real quickly, and then we'll.
I do, because I do feel better. Wow, this is so important. How somehow what you said penetrated, and I had the insight and the awareness. What's going on with me is that um my late husband and I bought our home together a long time ago. We were so excited. We loved the house.
Mm,
We were excited to move in together. And now he's gone. And I'm doing this myself. And I'm not excited. But it's not. I think that the condo is okay. I just hadn't seen what was underneath.
mm.
And that it's just, I think I can be okay with it. It's not the same. Eh, I hope I'm conveying this clearly. It's
Very, very,
that's
very
okay. So
heartfelt.
yeah, I just feel like I can be more at ease now with where I'm moving. So thank you so much. That
Thank
was so
you.
helpful. Yeah.
It was a group. It was a group effect. Victor, thank you. Thank all of you for your presence. Okay. So let's just for a moment, and this is not to diminish anything, but let's let the dust settle and know that the past has passed and future is a dream. That we do our best to plant the seeds that will produce a sense of well-being and happiness, but the true happiness is right where we are. So let's just let go into our present time experience, pleasant, unpleasant, or somewhere in between. Let's just not try to fix anything now. And to see what emerges in the silence. So as I settled into the silence, what I felt was the pain of our shared humanity and the truth of love and loss and uncertainty and harm and everything that goes with being a human, and feeling the just a moment of the shared dukkha, the I don't even want to say suffering of life, just the reality of life. Just letting it be felt is not diminishing in any way. It's in fact, it's enlivening. It's not something we need to get away from or fix or figure out. We simply need to experience what's happening. And I've had the few different thoughts going through my mind this evening from U Tejaniya, the wonderful Burmese meditation teacher. He said, whatever you're experiencing right now is the right experience. There's no need to be happy or unhappy about it. Be happy with the fact that you're experiencing it, you're noticing it. And if we could only turn toward whatever it was, an experience, then many, many insights into what lies hidden, what needs to be decided, everything emerges quite naturally, and it's often impeded by our reactive mind that wants to do something about everything, wants to fix and figure out. So it's funny, I brought onto the screen tonight, I had 4 little readings. One was Mary's, the top of the weekly bulletin about our sitting, where Mary put the quote from Alan Watts: "Ego, the self which one has believed oneself to be, is nothing but a pattern of habits." And one of those patterns of habits is that reinforces the sense that there's somebody in there. This very strong habit is the habit of what the Buddha called identification, misidentification, of taking those momentary experiences in life and mistakenly referring them to some entity, some seemingly unmoving entity to whom they're happening to. And that habit is reinforced by the misidentification, another habit, misidentification with this body, with this individuality, with the moods, with the thoughts, and that habit of identifying with those creates a sense of tension. And that tension then as we talk about a lot, there's an effect to feeling the tension of believing that there's a somebody behind everything. And that tension has to go somewhere, and so it's propelled in the world of our thinking. And in the thinking, what gets reinforced is not the experience of ourselves, the quiet, unbelievably mysterious, human heart-mind flow of mystery, but what gets generated is the reinforced story about ourselves of somebody that's come from the past, going to the future, inhabiting short-term this present, but all the action is what happens next. And that our whole identity structure is built around this, what I call the tyranny of time going. And so Alan Watts says ego, or that identity, that self which one has believed oneself to be, is nothing but a pattern of habits. And the beauty of our stopping is that we make a shift from being just carried along by that stream of habits to noticing, look what this mind is doing. Look at the way it's constructing me, a version of myself, moment to moment. And it doesn't mean that you stop being yourself. In fact, you continue to be yourself. You're even more yourself if you're not caught in the idea of yourself. You jump in to life. But the self-reflective, the thinking about, the analyzing, the interpreting, the becoming in our mind, actually, in spite of the whole aim of that pursuit of a solid, healthy self, even though it comes out of this desire for peace, the very activity of mind deprives us of peace that's available to us right now. And so that pattern of habits, the good news is you're a yogi, so now you can start to notice, not just start, but you can notice, you can catch yourself when your mind is in ambivalent mode. You can know, oh, this is ambivalence, or this is the sadness of loss. This is the old trauma coming up. And that becomes something that then is embraced with kindness, rather than something to fix or figure out, or something that reinforces the feeling of separateness. It actually melts away the feeling of separateness. We can finally just be home again in the mystery of what we are. We can't even really say on present evidence that we're a person. Even that's extra. That's a thought. It's an idea. And without it, we're just really, as I said when we came on today, we're just being together at the beginning of this call. I said, wow, it's amazing. I feel so enlivened. Because that's what we are when we're not being so self-conscious and so self-absorbed and so caught up in the stream of distress. We are alive. This is why Nisargadatta Maharaj says reality is what makes the present so vital. So different from past and future, which are mental. That mental world is not ourselves. Even though it's part of our humanity to have those habit patterns of thinking, but there's something about that thinking when the shift is made from being just lost in it to noticing it, where it becomes just part of the show instead of It defines me, my comparing thoughts, my judging thoughts, my ambivalent thoughts, my, me, my. Where's the me? Where's the my when we're really present? That's why Joanna Macy, this is not one of the quotes that was on the screen, but she said, I'm not insisting that you, I think she was responding to some question about the world. She says, I'm not insisting that we be brimming with hope. It's okay not to be optimistic. Buddhist teachings say feeling that you have to maintain hope can wear you out. So just be present. The biggest gift that you can give yourself and the world is to be absolutely present. And when you're worrying about whether you're hopeful or hopeless or pessimistic or optimistic, who cares? The main thing is that you're showing up, that you're here, and that you're finding ever more capacity to love this world because it will not be healed without it. And what better way to love this world but to immerse ourselves in it? On the weekend, I was rummaging through my old folder, which had a lot of different quotes about metta or loving kindness, because I was leading a half-day retreat in that domain. And I stumbled on a quote from Spinoza that I read a piece of, and that it seemed very much to me like many other quotes that I think are important for us because we live so much in this world of Mary's quote, ego, or Alan Watts' quote that Mary included, ego, the self which one has believed oneself to be, is nothing but a pattern of habits. We believe that we are in that ego, that it's something that needs to be defended and protected and built up and fixed and figured out, that gets transposed onto our meditation practice, onto our life, and we end up having to feel like we have to do it just right. We have to pick the right house or the right this or whatever it is. We have to get it right. And that's what egos do. They try to make secure something that's an idea that's inherently insecure. And we can tie ourselves in knots being good meditators and being ethical and moral, and all those things are wonderful, to meditate and to be ethical and moral, to be generous and patient, and all the different meditative and heart qualities that can grow in our lives. But all of that can be co-opted by, am I okay or not? Am I good enough? Am I worthy? Have I gotten there yet? That's why I kept saying, when we meditate, you've already arrived at the vital point. Mindfulness doesn't have any destination other than to be here. So you don't have to worry about getting where you need to get to. You're already immersed in the very thing that you're searching for. So I kept stumbling on quotes, that the Spinoza one just reminded me again to love this life, to just enter into it, practice every day, do everything, be mindful, cultivate all the pillars of the Dharma, ethics, mindfulness, wisdom, generosity, everything, cultivate it. But don't forget to live your life. This is when Einstein gave lectures at US universities. It might take a little patience to listen to this, because I'd like to read the whole thing tonight. But when Einstein gave lectures at US universities, a recurring question that students asked him most was, do you believe in God? And he always answered, I believe in the God of Spinoza. So just for those who don't know who Spinoza was, he was a Dutch philosopher considered to be one of the great rationalists of the 17th century philosophy. And Spinoza said, God would say, stop praying. What I want you to do is go out into the world and enjoy your life. I want you to sing, have fun, and enjoy everything I've made for you. Stop going into those dark, cold temples that you built yourself and saying that they are my house. My house is in the mountains, in the woods, rivers, lakes, and beaches. That's where I live and where I express my love for you. Stop blaming me for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you and that you were a sinner or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I have given you and with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, your joy. So don't blame me for everything that made you believe. They made you believe. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. If you can't read me in a sunrise, in a landscape, in the look of your friends, in your son's eyes, you will find me in no book. Stop asking me, will you tell me how to do my job? Stop being so scared of me. I do not judge you or criticize you, nor get angry or bothered. I am pure love. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, free will. How can I blame you if you respond to something I put in you? How can I punish you for being the way you are if I'm the one who made you? Do you think I could create a place to burn all my children who behave badly for the rest of eternity? What kind of God would do that? Respect your peers. Don't do what you don't want for yourself. All I ask is that you pay attention in your life. That alertness is your guide. My beloved, this life is not a test, not a step on the way, not a rehearsal, nor a prelude to paradise. This life is the only thing here and now, and it is all you need. I have set you absolutely free. No prizes or punishments, no sins or virtues. No one carries a marker, no one keeps a record. You are absolutely free to create in your life, heaven or hell. I can't tell you if there's anything after this life, but I can give you a tip. Live as if there is not. Now, this would be interesting to have a discussion on this, but live as though there is not. As if this is your only chance to enjoy, to love, to exist. So if there's nothing after, then you will have enjoyed the opportunity I gave you. And if there is, rest assured that I won't ask if you behaved right or wrong. I'll ask, did you like it? Did you have fun? What did you enjoy the most? What did you learn? Stop believing in me. Believing is assuming, guessing, imagining. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. I want you to feel me in you when you kiss your beloved, when you tuck in your little girl, when you caress your dog, when you bathe in the sea. Stop praising me. What kind of egomaniac God do you think I am? I'm bored being praised. I'm tired of being thanked. Feeling grateful? Prove it by taking care of yourself. Your health, your relationships, the world. Express your joy. That's the way to praise me. Stop complicating things and repeating as a parakeet what you've been taught about me. What do you need more miracles for? So many explanations. The only thing for sure is that you are here, that you are alive, and this world is full of wonders. So this is what happens this is what we connect with when we step out of that stream of habits, or at least notice that stream of habits as another one of life's creations. But we don't take it as an absolute. We don't take it as a thing. We take it as a pattern of habits. And I think Martha Graham, the great, I guess, dancer choreographer, she said, there is a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And there is only one of you in all time. This expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, not how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. You have to keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. No artist is pleased. There is no satisfaction whatever at any time. There is only a queer, divine dissatisfaction, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than others. So you can hear that all of these different expressions of wisdom keep reminding us to not get caught up in our story about ourselves, but to enter really fully into our lives. Or as William H. Murray put it, I'll read two more things before we run out of gas and run out of time. He says, until one is committed, there is a hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which countless ideas and splendid plans that kills countless ideas and splendid plans. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no person could have dreamed would have come their way. Whatever you can do or dream, you can do. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. And last but not least, from Mary Oliver, you don't have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair. Yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. So we don't have to figure it out, just have to jump in and love what we love. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I'm going to pass it on to you, Mary. And then I'll
Thank you, Howie.
say a little blessing and then we'll call it a night.
Okay, so just a reminder that we have the San Francisco Insight Dharma Center retreat at Spirit Rock, July 29th through August 4th, and there's still room in that retreat. And that will just be so lovely getting a chance to, it's an opportunity for all of the San Francisco Dharma centers to come together, to meet each other, to mingle, and even folks who not live locally, you are still part of a San Francisco Dharma Center, so we would love to see you. So, and then just a reminder about Donna. You know, we appreciate your support. We've been doing this for how many? It's almost 40 years, 39 years, Howie? Yeah. But that is all thanks to you, to us. Every week that you make it possible for this to continue yet another week. So the means to offer Donna is in the chat, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. Back to you, Howie.
Okay, so I'd like to invite all of you to say goodnight to each other, but before we unmute, let's just consider, I like to remember each time, consider the possibility, and I'd say the likelihood, that our being together has been meritorious. It's been onward leading toward our own well-being and the well-being of others. Pretty much practicing harmlessness to the extent possible. Of course, we can never know exactly whether we're causing harm, so we do our best. But anyway, we can consider that there's been some goodness, there's some blessings, some benefits for being together, and we want to always remember that we don't exist apart from everybody else, and we want to just help that the blessings of our practice get spread around to all beings in all circumstances, and the beings of this world really need our goodwill, need our examples of peace, need our freedom. So let's send our blessings with the wish that everybody can be more happy and peaceful and safe and protected and healthy and well, and know that natural freedom, peace, that is the real sacred happiness that lives in us as us, and wish that all people would never be separated from that, and wish that everybody can grow in resilience, serenity, equanimity, able to kind of deal with this world with balance, and may our practice lead to the liberation of everybody. So thanks for your share.